Hello, my name is Douglas Leo Freeman, and I am going to share with you my take on oracle readings and tarot readings. I usually give this spiel to every new person that does a reading with me. So instead of repeating myself over and over and over again, I'm going to record um, what I feel a person that works with me should know. And then you can just watch this. And then afterwards, I get right down to business and have a reading. So, let me give you a little bit of background on me. I have been doing energy work since the mid 90s and doing readings, both tarot and oracle readings, since about 2010. It's about 10 years in earnest and very active. So, I'm pretty familiar with the process, but my history was very skeptical. So I want to put that out there because many people that work with me for the first time are skeptical, and that's very natural, very normal. So I want to let you know that that's okay and appropriate and not a problem. I grew up in a religious context which considered anything like this, cards and the sort of things, soothsaying and satanic in nature and evil, witchcraft and all that stuff. So I was uh, about 11 years ago, or actually even more than that, when I went to a psychic fair, and there was an acquaintance of mine, and she was doing tarot readings, and she wanted me to come over and have one, and I just no, 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 no. Even though I was doing energy work, I didn't really want to go there. And so she just very compassionately, with a little wink in her eye, said, just sit down. It's not going to kill you. You don't have to believe a word I say. It's going to be fun. Just try it. So I did, and I was pleasantly shocked and surprised at how beautiful it was, how accurate the information was, um, and extremely curious as to how information like that could come across and through me or to me in a deck of cards. It was very strange, but I liked it. So over time, I decided to embrace it and use my intuitive gifts in this way. So I love doing readings. It's one of my favorite things to do because I love to stand in a place of grace and help somebody see something about themselves that they were unaware of, or validate something that they thought was going on, and now they get to have that confirmation that something is true, being led in a particular direction. But let me make one thing clear. I don't use readings as foretelling the future. I don't do the doom and gloom, nor do I do the airy-fairy, all is well. Um, there are admonitions in these readings and things to pay attention to. So I'm very real, very authentic, and the purpose of my readings is to foster self-awareness in the person that is in front of me and to empower them. I don't want somebody to keep coming back to me, or any reader for that matter. What should I do now? What should I do now? What I have this question, and look to those people or me as a source. The person that's in front of me is the source of the information. I simply am honored to be in a place where I can look at their energy as well and share in it, connect with them, and find out some more information they need to know. And I'll get to that a little bit more. I want to use the example of the Oracle of Delphi. That's a beautiful place on the mountainside in Greece. I have a special connection with the god Apollo. He's the god of prophecy. Since I was a little boy, I've always loved Apollo. And I got a chance to go to Delphi a couple of times, and it was pretty cool. So let me just describe what that place is. The Oracle of Delphi was around for hundreds of years. And kings to farmers to everybody in between would go to the temple and seek guidance um, by a prophecy. So at the front gate, as everybody would go in, didn't matter who you were, you would see a little plaque or a sign that said, Gnothi Ea Stone. This is how important it is to me. This is my first tattoo. I got it tattooed on my arm. Gnothi Ea Stone. What that means in Greek is know thyself. So this is important for me to explain when I'm doing a reading and before I do a reading, to put the context of oracle where it needs to be. So I consider this ultimately a tongue-in-cheek, wink-wink warning, because the process was this. So you'd go through the gate, you'd see that sign, know thyself. Yay, that's what I'm trying to do. I want a prophecy. I want to know if my crops are going to grow or not. I want to know if I'm going to win this war or not. I want to know whatever it is that anybody was going there for. You'd go to your city-state location and pay your tax or pay your fee. You'd get in line, however long that line was. There's a theater and a gymnasium there, a track, so there's entertainment while you're waiting. So then you'd go to the steps of the temple and you would hand your request to a priest. That priest would go into the temple, down to the basement of the temple, where the Sibyl sat. And this is usually a 13, 14-year-old, something like virgin, who was sitting on a tripod stool down at the very bottom of the place, over a crack in the earth where vapors were coming up. So she'd breathe these vapors and whatever else, and she'd be semi-high or in a trance. The priest would offer the question. She'd babble something in this trance. The priest would write it down, then interpret it, and then go back to the supplicant, whether that would be, again, a king or a farmer or anybody, or a merchant, and give a right down the middle cryptic prophecy that could be interpreted either way. But depending on the person's mindset, what they wanted to hear, they took that prophecy and went back to wherever they came from, and then it played out. So because it was so right down the middle, if there was plenty of room for interpretation. If it didn't go the way the person thought that it was given, and they complained, the priest was like, well, too bad. The priests in the temple complex were ultimately not responsible for anything. They just took the money and gave these little down the middle prophecies. So the reason why I bring that up, and I considered it for hundreds of years, this tongue-in-cheek warning of know thyself, is that the answers are already in you. So if you don't get that and don't understand that you can go within and know thyself by thyself, then fine, by all means, come here, spend your money, and we'll tell you. But it's probably not going to be accurate, considering that whole convoluted civil process, And that's how I look at readings. My goal is for you to know yourself. And so the answers are within you. The energy of the reading is yours, whether we are face-to-face or whether we are long distance, because I can do readings for anybody anywhere in the world. So the energy is yours. I look at it though, so if the energy and the answers are all within you, then why are you still coming to somebody like me or anybody else to help? So when I am called on, or when I'm called on to be an oracle, this is how I see it. I am simply, and the cards are simply a mirror to help you see what's already there. For example, for a guy, tying a tie, a woman putting on makeup. Now, you could probably tie a tie without looking in a mirror. You could probably do your makeup without looking in a mirror. Chances are that's going to be difficult, more difficult, and you might not look so great if you didn't double check, right? So I look at the cards and my place with the cards, with my interpretation, with what I feel like I am receiving as far as a message for you or for the reader, that I am simply a mirror. You are picking the cards either in person, or I tap into your energy and pick the cards as you. But it's your reading, and the energy, the cards themselves, the messages, whatever comes out of my mouth is a mirror to help you see yourself, to know thyself. And that's how I look at readings, my take on readings. That may not be everybody, but that is how I was able to go from where I was thinking it was just an evil thing and shouldn't go anywhere near it, to being right there and helping people with questions that they want answered. So that's an important aspect as well. When you engage the divine, whether that be through cards, through prayer, through meditation, through crystals, through other energy modalities, whenever you're trying to commune and receive answers, you got to be careful of the questions. My take is you do not ask any choice questions. Should I quit this job? Should I date this person? Should I move to wherever? What should I do? My interpretation of God, Goddess, the universe, not too keen on telling you what to do. The universe itself is all about empowering us. And so should questions or choice questions. And I look at that as like, I don't know what to do. I'm helpless. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's not how this works. Or at least that's not how I work with these readings. So the idea, instead of saying, what should I do? Or what should I do? Or should I, for example, move to Seattle? Come to the oracle, come to the reading with, what do I need to know about moving to Seattle? So it's an information gathering process so you can make a more informed choice, not necessarily be told what to do. You might think that's a fine line, but it's a very important distinction. So when you come to a reading, especially your first one, I like to give you the option, if you have a specific question that you're worried about, or an issue, whether that be relationship or finances or health or whatever it may be. What I have found is to encourage just what do I need to know right now, and just leave it completely open to your own energy and to the highest good for the cards to present the real issue or the most important issue, whether or not you think it is. Because 9 times out of 10, your question will be answered anyway, and you're going to get some surprises, some pleasant surprises, and some more information than you would have if you narrowed it down to this one specific question. That's not wrong to do. I personally have found that when I'm doing readings for myself, I'll just say, okay, I've got all these questions, or I've got this issue, or I've got that issue, and I'm surrendering everything and trusting that what I really need to know is going to come through, and it works like a charm. So to wrap it up, I want you to understand that as I understand the divine, that God, Goddess, the universe is very playful and joyful, and wants to talk with us in the way that suits us best. Whether that's through a thought or through a feeling or through signs, through numbers, or if we have a particular affinity, let's take the tarot, for example. There's the original tarot, and then there's a gazillion different tarot decks, from kitty cat tarot to vampire tarot to fairies to angels to all this kind of stuff. Oracle decks, there's mermaids and fairies and ancestral angel decks of all sorts. And so, in my opinion, it doesn't matter, and I use all those decks. Not necessarily the tarot, but I have a ton of decks. So it's, how do I best hear information? And the universe is willing to play. So if you're drawn to a spirit animal deck, great. If you're drawn to a mermaid deck, fine. The information is going to be the same. It's just going to be couched in the way you like it. So I actually enjoy that aspect because there's certain. It's just like if you're in a certain mood for music. If you're in the mood for classical, then you're going to get fed that way. If you're in the mood for some like heavy stuff and you want to just get your anger out or get your wiggles out with some EDM, it doesn't matter. Whatever you need in the moment is available. So, to wrap this up, I basically want you to understand that my intention for your reading is to empower you and to help you become more aware of yourself. Know thyself. I am happy to hold up the mirror whenever and however you need. I am honored to be present and to be allowed to see you and to connect with your energy and to help interpret messages that you're going to receive. The last piece of this empowerment part is that I will always tell you, no matter what I say, trust what you get in your own reading more than anything I say. You don't have to share it with me. You can, but whatever spirit, source, God, goddess, the divine says to you, or whatever impressions you get that way, trust that more than whatever I'm saying. And let's have a joyful experience. Let's have fun. Not necessarily taking it lightly, but let's be light about it, because that's what we're doing. We're shedding light on an aspect of your life or your situation, whatever it may be, to empower you and to help you make a better informed choice. So with all the excitement I can muster, I look forward to meeting you face to face, or meeting you electronically or cyberly, I guess, and working with you as many times as you need. I do half-hour sessions. I do 1-hour sessions. So there'll be information to contact me below, and we can set something up. I live in Mountain Time Zone in the United States. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. So wherever you are on the planet, just do the math, and we can make it work. Again, it's an honor to be a part of your process and your journey, and I wish you well. Cheers.